Hi guys, let's get started with problem set 1, page 11 of your textbook, chapter 1. Question number 1, select the correct alternatives from the answer of the questions given below. How many midpoints does a segment have? Option A, only one. If you look at the segment, we have only one midpoint. This midpoint divides the segment into two equal parts. So every segment has one and only one midpoint. How many points are there in the intersection of two distinct lines? The intersection of two distinct lines intersect at a point. So option is C1. How many lines are determined by three distinct points? So option C, 1 or 3. Now let's see how one collinear points, that is a line passing through 3 points, collinear points, and these are non-collinear points, so 3 lines can be drawn. Sub question 4, find distance between AB if coordinates of A and B are -2 and 5 respectively. Option C, 7. Coordinate of A is -2, coordinate of B is -5. Distance between AB is bigger number minus smaller number, that is -2. So minus into minus plus, 5 plus 2 is 7. Sub question 5, PQR and distance between PQ is 2, distance between PR is 10. Then find distance between QR. Option B is 8. Now let's understand with the line drawn. PR is 10 distance and PQ is 2. So distance of QR is equal to distance of PR minus distance of PQ. 10 minus 2, that is 8. Question 2, on a number line, coordinates of PQR are 3, -5 and 6 respectively. State with reason whether the following statements are true or false. Distance PQ plus distance QR is equal to distance PR. They have given us the values of P, Q and R, and we have to just put the values in the given question. P is 3 minus -5, so that is the bigger number minus smaller number. 3 plus 5, that gives us 8. Then here we consider this QR, bigger number minus smaller number. R is bigger number minus smaller number, -5. So minus plus 6 plus 5, and bigger number minus smaller number, that is 3. So this is 8, this is 11, which is not equal to 3. So 19 is not equal to 3. Hence the statement is false. Second one, distance between PR plus RQ is equal to distance between PQ. Now distance between PR will be bigger number minus smaller number, distance between RQ will be bigger number minus smaller number, that is -5, and PQ distance between that is bigger number minus -5. So here 6 minus 3 is 3, 6 plus 5 is 11, and 3 plus 5 is 8. So 3 plus 11 is 14, 14 is not equal to 8, hence the statement is false. Now sub question 3, distance between RP plus distance between PQ is equal to distance between RQ. Now bigger number minus smaller number, always remember. So 6 minus 3 is 3, distance between 3 minus smaller number -5, minus into minus plus 3 plus 5, and 6 minus -5, 6 plus 5, 11, 3 plus 8, 11, and 11. Left hand side is equal to right hand side, hence the given statement is true. So question 4, distance PQ, distance minus PR is equal to distance QR. So bigger number minus smaller number, so 3 minus into minus plus 5 minus 6 minus 3, 3, which is equal to 6 plus 5, So 8 minus 3 is 5 and 11. So left hand side is not equal to right hand side, hence the given statement is false. Question number 3. Coordinates of some pairs of points are given below. Hence find the distance between each pair. Now they have given us a pair 3 and 6. We can use any alphabet for these pairs. Let A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 6. Distance between AB is bigger number minus smaller number. 6 minus 3, that is 3 units. Second, negative 9 and negative 1. Let A be negative 9 and B be negative 1. So distance between AB is negative 1 is bigger than negative 9. So negative 1 minus negative 9. Negative 1 minus into minus plus 9, we have got 8 units. Third one, negative 4 and 5. Let C is equal to negative 4 and D is equal to 5. Distance between CD is equal to 5. 5 is bigger, so 5 minus negative 4, minus into minus plus 5 plus 4 is 9 units. Sub question 4, x and negative 2. Now let E be x and F be negative 2. So distance between EF is equal to, we have to take E as x, so x as it is positive, so this becomes a bigger number. So bigger number minus, negatives are always smaller than positive numbers, so minus negative 2, so minus into minus plus, x plus 2 units. As we do not know the value of x, so this will be the answer. Fifth one, x plus 3 and x minus 3. Let G is equal to x plus 3 and H is equal to x minus 3. So distance between GH is equal to x plus 3. Now x both are positive, so when we add them, if we know the value of x, then that also becomes a positive number. And minus, it has a negative number, so we will consider it as negative. So minus x minus 3. And when we open the bracket, x plus 3 and this becomes minus x and this becomes minus into minus plus 3. When we open the bracket, the sign changes exactly opposite. This becomes negative, this becomes positive. So this is negative, this is positive. Positive x and negative x gets cancelled. So 3 plus 3, 6 units. Sixth one, negative 5, negative 47. Let I be negative 5 and j be negative 47. Distance between ij is equal to bigger number minus smaller number. So negative 5 minus into minus plus 47, which gives us 22 units. That is negative 5 and positive 25 from 47 gets cancelled, becomes 0, and left over are all positive units. That is 22 units. Seventh sub question, 80 and 85. Let k be 80. This is wrong. It is by mistake I have written. It is 80 and j is negative 85. So distance between kj is equal to 80 minus negative 85. So minus into minus plus. So 80 plus 85 is 165 units. Question number 4. Coordinates of point P on a number line is, coordinate of point P on a number line is negative 7. Find the coordinates on points on the number line which are at a distance of 8 units from point P. So it can be positive also, it can be negative also. So if P is negative 7, then we have to go 8 units to the right of 7 and 8 units to the left of 7. So we will consider those coordinates as x and y. So coordinate of P is negative 7. Let the coordinate of O be x and let the coordinate of Q be y. Distance, so now we will consider this coordinate. To find this coordinate, y is greater than negative 7. Distance between PQ is equal to 8 units. So distance between PQ is equal to, y is bigger unit, so y minus negative 7. So PQ, they have given us 8 units. 8 is equal to y plus 7. Y is equal to 8 minus 7. Y comes here and 8 goes here. So it is 8 minus 7. So y is equal to 1. Therefore, the coordinate of Q is equal to 1. same sum will continue this part of the number line, and the distance between P and O, which is also equal to 8 units. So negative 7 is greater than x. So distance between PQ is equal to negative 7 minus x. So 8 is equal to negative 7 and negative x. Negative x comes here, 8 goes there. So negative 7 and negative 8, x is equal to negative 15. The coordinate of O is negative 15. Therefore, the required coordinate are 1 and negative 15. Question 5. Answer the following questions. If A dash, B dash, C and distance between AC, this is equal to 17. Then distance between BC is equal to 6.5. Then distance between AB we have to find out. So if you look at this number line, AC is 17 and BC is 6.5. Distance between AC is equal to AB plus BC. So AB plus BC. So distance AC is already known to us, 17. AB we have to find it out, and plus BC is 6.5. So we bring AB here and 17 over here as per the equation. Then 17 minus 6.5, distance between AB is equal to 10.5. If we subtract 17, we'll consider it as 17.0 minus 6.5, 10.5 units. Sub question 2, P dash Q dash R and distance between PQ is 3.4. Distance between QR is 5.7. Then distance between PR we have to calculate. So if you look at the number line, PQR, PQ is 3.4 and QR is 5.7 given. So it is clearly understood PQ plus QR is equal to the full length of the line. So we need to add these two. So distance between PR is equal to distance between PQ plus distance between QR. So 3.4 plus 5.7, put the values, and distance between PR, substitute the values, and then distance between PR is equal to 9.1 units. Let's come to now question number 6. Question 6. Coordinate of point A on a number line is 1. What are the coordinates of points on the number line which are at a distance of 7 units from A? If you consider A's coordinate as 1, then we have to find out 7 units to the right and 7 units to the left. So coordinate of point A is 1 given. Let the coordinate of point R be y to the right, and let the coordinate of point M be x to the left. Now distance between AR, now we are talking about this distance between AR is equal to distance between ME. Both the distances are same, plus 7 units and plus 7 units. You have to move to the left as well as right. So distance between AR is 7 units. So naturally y is greater than 1. Therefore distance between AR is equal to y minus 1. So AR is given to us as 7 units, right? We have to move 7 units to the right of 1. So AR will be 7 units. 7 minus y minus 7 is equal to y minus 1. So y comes here, so it becomes negative. 7 goes there, it becomes negative. So minus 1. So negative y is equal to negative 8. Negative sign gets cancelled on left hand side as well as right hand side. Y is equal to 8. Now we will talk about MA. Distance between MA is equal to again 7 units. So 1 is greater than x. So distance between MA is bigger number minus smaller number, which is x. So MA is 7, 1 minus x. So x is equal to, x comes here and 7 goes there. So 1 minus 7. X is equal to negative 6. Answer: the coordinate of x and y are negative 6 and 8. Let's come to question 7. Write the following statements in conditional form. Now every rhombus is a square. Now conditional form, when we say, then it has to be, there has to be if and then. So if a quadrilateral, a square is a square, then it may be a rhombus. Second one, angles in a linear pair are supplementary. If the angles are in a linear pair, then they are supplementary. That is, the sum of measures of the angles is 180 degree. Third sub-question, a triangle is a figure formed by 3 segments. If the given figure is a triangle, then it is a closed figure formed by 3 segments. Sub-question 4, a number having only 2 divisors is called a prime number. If a number has only 2 divisors, now that is 1 and the number itself, then it is a prime number. Question 8, write the converse of each of the following statement. If the sum of the measures of angles in a figure is 180 degree, then the figure is a triangle. Now we are writing a converse. If the figure in a triangle, if the figure is a triangle, then the sum of measures of all the angles of the given figure is 180 degree. Sub-question 2, if the sum of measures of 2 angles is 90 degree, then they are complementary of each other. Converse, if 2 angles are complement to each other, then the sum of their measure is 90 degree. That is, if you consider 2 angles, angle A and angle B, so their sum is equal to 90 degree. So it can be any measure, say 40 and 50 we consider, so 40 plus 50 is 90. Sub-question 3, if the corresponding angles formed by a transversal of 2 lines are congruent, then the 2 lines are parallel. Now converse, if 2 lines are parallel, so first we will talk about this part, lower part, and then the upper part. If 2 lines are parallel intersected by a transversal, then corresponding angles are congruent angles. Now if I have drawn the figures for you all to understand corresponding angles, 2 parallel lines intersected by a transversal, angles 8 angles are formed. We have learned this in 5th and 6th standard. This corresponds to this corresponds to this, and under this corresponds to this, and this also corresponds to this. Sub-question 4, if the sum of the digits of a number is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. If a number is divisible by 3, then the sum of the digits of the given number is divisible by 3. Example, if 189 is divided by 3, then sum of the digits, that is 1 plus 8 plus 9 is equal to 18. 18 is divisible by 3. Come to question number 9. Write the antecedent, that is given part, and the consequent part to be proved in the following statement. If all sides of a triangle are congruent, then its all angles are congruent. Antecedent part will be given part, that is given triangle PQR, sides are congruent. PQ is congruent to QR and QR is congruent to PR. All sides of triangle are congruent. Now consequent part will be, part to be proved will be, now first they have given us that all these 3 sides are equal. What we have to prove is then all its angles are congruent. So angle P, because the sides are congruent, so their angles are also congruent. So angle P is congruent to angle Q is congruent to angle R. Its all angles are congruent. Sub-question 2, the diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. Now parallelogram is FAST, given part is quadrilateral. FAST is a parallelogram. Now what we have to prove is the diagonals FS and AT intersect each other at point M. So antecedent is the given quadrilateral is a parallelogram, and consequent is its diagonal bisect each other. Question 10. Draw a labeled figure showing information in each of the following statement. Write the antecedent and the consequent. Sub question 1. Two equilateral triangles are similar. If you look at the figure which I have drawn, triangle ABC and triangle DEF, when we talk about equilateral triangle, all its sides are equal as well as their angles are equal. So even the length may be different, but they are similar. Antecedent, the given two triangles are equilateral. Triangle ABC and triangle DEF are equilateral triangles. This is given to us, and what we have to prove is consequent. They are similar. So in the above figure, triangle ABC and triangle DEF are equilateral triangles, so they are similar to each other. So we can write this as triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. Sub question 2. If angles in a linear pair are congruent, then each of them is a right angle. Angles in linear pair. So when we say linear pair, they are next to each other, and antecedent, the angles in a linear pair are congruent. So this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. Angle PQR and PRQ and PRS are in linear pair, and angle PRQ is congruent to PRS. Consequent, each of them is a right angle. Because they are congruent and they are in linear pair, so each of them is a right angle, that is angle PRQ is equal to angle PRS, which is equal to 90 degrees. Sub question 3. If the altitudes drawn on two sides of a triangle are congruent, then those two sides are congruent. Antecedent, if the altitudes drawn on two sides of triangle are congruent. So these are the altitudes drawn from the vertex B to the side AC and altitude drawn from vertex C to the side AB. If altitudes are congruent, then we have to say that the two sides are also congruent. So altitude segment BE and segment CD are perpendicular to side AC and AB. Therefore segment BE is congruent to segment CD. Consequent is those two sides are congruent. Now which are those two sides? Here, that is AB and AC. So those two sides are sides AB and side AC are congruent. So we have finished with the problem set 1. Wait for my next video for chapter 2.